Hello.
I'm Mo.
This is Randall, or I'm Randall.
That's Randall. What's up? How's it going, guys?
Welcome to the Wednesday Live.
Our official Facebook Live.
Let me see if I can pull this up for questions.
Okay, we're missing Mason today.
So we're
Sad.
operating this thing all by ourselves.
Yep. So, yeah, give us a sec. We'll be reading comments from Randall's phone.
Yes, we will.
Yes, but in the meantime, guess what? Oh, Mason's watching, actually. Hi, Mason.
You made sure to be here with us. Oh, shoot.
He's here in spirit. Okay, so, yeah, there's 2 weeks left on our Kickstarter.
Only 2.
Only 2?
It feels like it's been a long 2 months, but we're almost done.
I think it went super fast.
Oh, well.
Like, thinking back to when it started.
It's been fun, though.
It's been real fun.
I just said hi to Mason.
Oh, awesome. Okay, so yeah, what does it mean? 15 days left. We are funded. We have $240,000, but just because we funded, we haven't necessarily hit our goal. We need $400,000 to not borrow money. So we're still borrowing money where we're at, and we would love to not. So anything helps.
Who likes borrowing money?
Not me. No one. So, yeah, we're still collecting. This is still the best option to get a float tank. It's definitely the most affordable. The prices will go up after Kickstarter, so if you're thinking of buying one, now is your chance.
Yeah, I know I've spoken with a lot of people that are actually, waiting for the quantities to get down to, the last one, and then they said they're going to get their tank right when it gets to the very last, but probably not the best idea, because I bet you here towards the end, a lot of people are going to be snatching these tanks up because it's the last time they're going to be discounted.
Yeah, they go fast. Like, our earliest bird special was gone in the first day, and then the next one was gone within a few days. So, yeah, seriously, if you're thinking about it, now's the time.
Yeah, I think in a month and a half, we've sold about 80 to 90 tanks. So, we have, so that's good, but there's not, there's not a lot left on the current rewards that have the best discounts. So, obviously, all the way up until the end, they're really good discounts. But go get them. Don't wait until the very last minute.
Yes, and also 2 things. We did add a stretch goal. So if we reach 300,000, then everyone gets these freaking sweet float headphones. They're fully waterproof. They have a 9-foot cord, so you don't have to worry about getting your phone wet or like speakers wet or anything.
Should we show people how long they are?
Let's show them. Yeah, let's take this out. Oh, and it comes with different earbud sizes, so they act really well, like preventing water from getting in your ear.
Here's the different earbud sizes.
Yep. And they're great for if you want to do a guided meditation or listen to music or chants or anything like that. It takes me a while to relax in a float tank, so I always start with a quick, like 15-20 minute guided meditation, and then I go into silence, and it's a lot easier for me to relax my mind that way. But
See if we can show them how long they are.
it won't even fit on the screen because it's so long.
Yeah, we need a couple more phones.
Yeah, so it's awesome.
I hope
Also,
that's okay. I'm not paying for these, by the way.
Oh, yeah, we cool. We'll put that one on Zen. Also, I noticed that Christian is watching.
Hey, Christian.
How's it going? Oh, and one last thing, we just wanted to say thank you to everyone who supported us and just likes floating. And that's our whole mission as a company, is to help people start floating, make it more accessible. So we did add a $1 option on Kickstarter, and you get a digital copy of the float tank here, and you get a guided meditation that's specific to floating.
Which is amazing.
it is amazing. It's like 25 minutes long.
Perfect time to just get you ready to start floating.
Yeah. And if you don't have a tank, you can listen to it in your bathtub, and it's like kind of this similar.
Or Audible books or whatever.
Yeah, it's dope. So, all right, now let's talk about what you guys want to know, what we came here to talk about. And that is if a Zen float tank or tank can be used commercially.
Yeah, so please, anybody watching, Mason and Christian so far.
Our homies.
Yeah. Ask questions. It's best time to ask is right now. So, but we want to do this because through the Kickstarter, well, we've always gotten questions about, can the Zen Float tent be used commercially, our first version? But especially since the new tank, it just looks a lot more robust and everything else. So a lot of people are asking if that can be used commercially, which it can, but we have to make you aware of a few things, I guess. So that's what we're going to do today.
Yep.
So, first of all, feedback from a lot of our customers and myself, and I think everybody here at Zen who have floated in other, commercial float tanks. A lot of people prefer actually our float experience in our tent or tank just because it actually eliminates sound and light, and a lot of the sensory stuff is eliminated better in our tank. And so if you are trying to use it commercially, you'll probably get that same feedback from other customers, but you'll get those experiences for your customers at a discount or a fraction of the cost of an actual commercial float tank.
Yeah, and real quick, that being said, Shane, the founder of Zen, the first time he's ever actually fallen asleep in a float tank was in our new inflatable tank. So that just kind of says like how well they work, and it's super dark, and it's what you want in a float tank. It's just really a good float tank.
Yeah, basically the experience is the same, that you're going to get in a commercial tank if you're trying to do the sensory deprivation. Now, if you want, music or speakers in your tank and lights and so forth, we don't offer those as of now, so you're going to need to go to a float center for those things, or purchase our tank and put that stuff in yourself. But anyhow, so I guess a couple things to be aware of if you're looking to use this commercially. The biggest thing we want to make everybody aware of is that it voids the warranty basically that we have on the tank, just because our tank right now is designed for private in-home use or personal use, which all that basically means is our filtration system is not set up for multiple or a quantity of users each day. In fact, I think it takes about 2 hours for our pump to filter 200 gallons of water. So basically, you can test your water in between floats and probably get a lot of people floating each day, but you probably want to wait, at least an hour or two in between floats to let the water, I guess, filter. So lots of wear and tear on the filtration system if you're going to use commercially, which is why we void the warranty. We can't, realistically, in our business model, be replacing pumps for you all the time when you're getting that high of a quantity of use. So basically what I tell customers is you can still use it commercially, but you're going to probably, depending on if you're opening like a float center, you're going to want to upgrade the filtration. And basically what that means is the pump, there's pumps out there that'll pump 200 gallons of water within 15 or 30 seconds, some of them, but they're upwards of $1,000, $2,000. Some pumps are $5,000, to get that much water pumping that fast. I found one on Amazon for $1,200 that filters 250 gallons within, I think, 45 seconds. So that's pretty good. But again, it's $1,200. So you would have to do that on your own. We don't offer that. So you have something you want to add there?
That's expensive.
Yeah, it is expensive. So if you purchase, let's say we're after June 15th and you pay $3,500 for the tank, and you want to use commercially, you're going to spend another $1,200. So you're at, what is that, $4,700?
Yeah.
To get an upgraded or pump in there. But what's the next cheapest commercial tank out there? If anybody knows, it's next cheapest option is $15,000 just for the commercial tank.
Oh dang.
So getting that, and then also getting it shipped to you, getting your salt, hooking up a room with plumbing, doing all this other craziness that our tank doesn't need. You could buy 10 commercial pumps and still be under the price of the next commercial tank, if that makes sense. So even though we void the warranty, it's still cheaper to go with our tank and buy a pump for it, because you're still spending about $10,000 less than you would for an actual commercial tank.
Yeah.
So that's why, when we say void the warranty, that might scare some people, but when you actually think about the cost, even if you're paying to replace parts on our tank from wear and tear, it's going to take you years of, replacing parts and amassing that cost before you reach the retail cost of a commercial tank, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think we got some questions.
I see some comments coming through. So Ellen says
Hi, Ellen.
Hi, Ellen. True fan.
For sure.
Christian says his commercial place uses Ozone, and he doesn't always like the smell.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah, Ozone is actually something we're working on and hope to incorporate in our tanks, because it is easier to, as far as maintenance is concerned. But I agree with you, Christian. Ozone's, if you've got that smell in there, first of all, it can be dangerous. It's a dangerous chemical, but when used correctly, it's the best way to clean anything, really. But I agree, it's got a pretty harsh smell to it.
Yeah, I've never tried Ozone.
You shouldn't try it.
All right. Well, won't worry about that.
It's deadly. But anyhow, it's a really good cleaning agent. It's just, we've got to do some more testing before we can put it in our tanks.
Yeah, make sure it's safe.
Yep.
Christian also said, in reference to buying an upgraded pump, the price is actually not that bad, especially if you're making money, which you would be if you used it in a float center.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, that's one of our biggest niche, here at Zen. Mo and I did a live about a month and a half ago, just breaking down the costs per hour to use our tank. Mm-hmm. We can get it down to about $20 or less per hour. Whereas at a float center, you're always going to, depending on your location, pay upwards of $50 or $100 per hour. So if you're purchasing our tank, upgrading the filtration system, you can still offer people, cheaper than your local float centers per hour, and basically beat your competition on price, because you got in for, again, a third the price of the next cheapest tank. So.
Yeah, and you'll be able to make that money back real quick.
Mm-hmm. So. Anything else?
Yeah, I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. Shirayu. I don't know if this was I think it was in reference to the filtration system, but it said they cannot be, as it takes many hours to clean the water.
Yeah, that's what we were just mentioning. So if you buy our tank, the pump that it comes with takes about 2 hours to filter 200 gallons of water. So you just have to keep that in mind. If you don't change the pump, you're probably not going to, once a customer floats, you're going to want to give it an hour and a half, 2 hours before you let another customer float. Or you can pay for, on your own, because we don't offer the commercial pump, but we can give you suggestions because we know what float centers use. You can take our pump out of the tank and buy a commercial one. That way it'll filter the water in, some of them 30 seconds. But again, that's where the extra cost comes in. Is the cheapest pump that I found that filters water that fast is $1,200 on Amazon. So, but it's a really popular, I guess, pump with commercial centers or float centers. So
yeah.
So I guess Shirayu is correct. It wouldn't be best to use our tanks as they come because of the pump. Once you buy a new commercial pump, then you can use commercially.
I gotcha. Yeah. And yeah, that's what we were just talking about, as Christian brought up. You'll make that money back quick because people are going to be paying for floats, and it's still a third of the cost of the next cheapest float tank.
Yep. So that's the biggest thing is currently we don't have a commercial ready option. We will soon, and we'll support the warranty on that at that point. But right now, we don't support the warranty, and it's going to cost you probably at least another $1,000 or $1,500 to get your tank commercial ready. But again, you're still way cheaper than you're going to have to get a much bigger small business loan if you don't go that route, basically. So And you know, for the price of one $15,000 pod, you can get 3 Zen Float tanks. So now you got 3 units producing money versus 1. You know, so it's commercially it's a very viable option. You just want to make sure to take the steps that we're talking about here today to use it that way.
Yeah.
So, and also, you know, especially with our new tank, since it's inflatable, it's got about 2.5 inches of I guess air in between the sidewalls. A lot of float centers will actually spend extra money in their float rooms to actually lift their tanks off the ground, you know, put rubber pucks or something in there, just because sound, that's where you get most sound interruption, is through the ground. Our tank inflates off the ground for you without you having to spend any more money, and it's probably better than rubber pucks under a tank because it's just, you know, 2.5 inches of air all the way around you. So that's why we say the commercial, your experience for your customers in our Zen Float tank, the new one's probably going to be better than a lot of commercial options.
Yeah, it's super insulated, so it cuts out a lot more sound, and it keeps it a lot warmer. So like this new tank compared to our old tank, you save about 40% on your electric bill just in heating. So you're going to save a lot keeping this tank warm. Then.
Yep, and I had another point. Oh, also, if you're using, you know, our tank for, I guess, commercial purposes, another option you have is to also carry stock of our tank. You know, if you want to buy quantity, we'll give you discounts for, you know, like on Kickstarter, we have a 4-tank discount where you're getting your tank for just under $2,500, I guess, per tank. So if you do that, and you're obviously going to have customers that come in and they like the tank and they like floating so much that they end up wanting their own. So instead of losing that customer to hourly floats, you still make money on them by selling them a tank. You know, so we really try to work really closely with float centers, specifically on that. Some people are always going to want to pay the hourly rates, but you're eventually going to lose some people that want to own one in their home. So why not, you know, partner with us and get a discount and make money both ways.
Bam. Yeah, lots of options here, which is...
What else? Is there anything else to cover for commercial? That's mainly it. Just knowing the warranty, you know, situation and upgrading your pump. Now, if you're a lot of people use our tank commercially for like wellness centers, like chiropractic office, massage therapy, yoga. We just sold salt to a yoga studio here locally. What else? Well, just wellness centers in general. You're probably not going to have, you know, if you're open from 9 to 5, you're not going to try to have 8 people float during that day. You might have 1 or 2. In those cases, as long as the floats are spread apart in a wellness center, you don't need to really upgrade the filtration. You can use it as it comes. But if you're really trying to open a float center, that's when you want to think about spending the extra money on a pump.
Yeah. But yeah, that's good to know. So you can, I mean, depending on where you're using it and how you're going to use it, you can use it as is. So
yeah, and if you have questions about that, I think you put James's information in the caption.
Yeah, there's a float specialist phone number and email in the caption, and that's James. He works closely with Randall, so if you have any questions, just reach out. That's his direct phone number and his direct email, and he'll be able to answer any questions and just talk more about this and help you figure out the best option for you, whatever that may be. So
for sure. So reach out to him if you have more questions about that. But that's the answers to your can it be used commercially?
Yes.
The answer is yes.
Yes,
just
it can.
follow the directions.
With a little asterisk. Yes. Okay, well, thanks, guys.
Yes.
Thanks for tuning in. We'll be here next Wednesday, 4:30 Mountain Time.
Tell your friends, share this, like.
Yes.
We got 15 days on Kickstarter.
15 days left.
Let's push it up.
Yay. Okay, bye, everyone.
Later. Mason.